Hey, what's up my moon babes? It's Anastasia Moon Girl back with another video today. Today's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna be talking about my piercings. So a little known fact about me is I really enjoy piercings. I enjoy wearing jewelry and like little dainty pieces. So we're gonna take a little tour of all my piercings and I'll talk about them really quickly, about the pain, how I took care of them, and if I would do them again or not. But all of my piercings I would do again 1000%. I have a bunch that I have planned out, but because of, you know, coronavirus and everything, those probably aren't gonna happen anytime soon. But we're gonna go in order from oldest to newest. So I'm just gonna have to push my hair back because I can't find a hair tie. I know that sounds ridiculous, but literally I don't know how I can have this much hair and not be able to find a hair tie. So we're just gonna have to get over that for right now. But my first ones are gonna be these hoops. I will insert like little close-ups. So I got my first earlobes done when I was like 3 months old. When my parents adopted me. I know that that's a kind of taboo, but I was born in '95 and it really wasn't a problem back then. And I never really had to deal with being super scared when I was like 7 or 8 getting them done. So that was really nice. And these ones never close out. I went through like a period of not wearing them for like 6 or 7 years and they're still open. They're fine. The next one, or the next two, I guess the next 3 were all done at the same time at Lulu's Body Piercings because I do live in California. That's a story time within itself. There's a video of me on their channel. They were like live recording my experience and also like on their normal camera recording the experience, and the live recording they have since taken down, but it explains like them being like joking and like making jokes about how they're being mean and like gonna portray me like this person. And then they like title it something like what we have to deal with off camera, because I went in only wanting 2 piercings and they marked me for 3. And I was like, sure, I'm down for the 3rd one, like it looks cute, but I want to make sure like the spacing's good. And that's a whole thing. They make me look like a brat. Like I was like, oh, I don't like it here. And I was like, well, originally I only came in for 2 and you came in with 3 needles, and like I'm down, but I want to make sure it looks good. That's a whole nother story. They dragged me to filth though. They did. And I gave them so much money and then I tipped them huge, and then they just put out a video and edited it to make me look terrible. So not only did I not really have the best experience, but I had to go get those piercings fixed because they actually weren't pierced correctly at my local piercing place. So I'll talk about that hopefully in another video. If you guys want to see my Lulu's body piercing experience, I actually went to 2 with my friends, so we can all explain that. It did take a long time to heal. I definitely had to soak it. I had to really make sure it was clean, and I kept up with my soakings and cleaning it because it got like a little bit of a hypertrophic scar. It went away after a while, but it was a piercing that took a long time to heal, and I probably had it for almost 2 years now, or a little bit over 2 years, and it still gets crusty every once in a while. It's not a finicky piercing and I love it. It's one of my favorites, but it's definitely, it was a piercing that I had to keep up with. Okay, so moving on to my right side. My right side, I guess I'll go through an overview. I've got just the first, I've got like a 3rd, my conch, and a double helix. I really want to get a rook on this ear and a flat. For my 3rds, I have a piece of sapphire and white gold that my boyfriend gave me for Valentine's Day, so that's really great. This one's closer to the cartilage as well. I would say that the pain was like a 3. It healed in 8 to 12 weeks, super easy, not bothersome at all. I really enjoy, like, low piercings are super easy, obviously. The next one was the conch. The conch I was really worried about. I thought that the conch was gonna hurt way more than the daith, but it didn't. I really would say that the conch was like, wait, did I say that my 3rds were like a 3 or a 4? I would say that my 3rds were a 2 and my conch was honestly a 4. Like there was definitely a big crunch, and it was the pressure was there, and it stung more after. I think like the after pain hurt more because it was sore and it was swollen, and like that was bothersome, and it needed to be cleaned. Like that was one that needed to be cleaned because it always was getting crusty, but never was like problematic. It just needed to be cleaned every day, or it just didn't look great. It was never like, knock on wood, I've almost had it for, or I've had it for a year in April, so I've had it for more than a year. I had this BVLA honeycomb stud stuck in it, not stuck, but put in it, and I've not changed it. I want to change it into a hoop, and I can now, but it's just, you know, with the virus and everything, there's no way to change it, and I just want to leave everything alone. So moving on to our double helix. I got these done at 2 separate times, but we're going to talk about them together. The pain was there. The top one didn't hurt as much as the bottom one, and that might have been because the top one was already there, and probably I'd had it for 7 months when I got the bottom one done. I catch these in everything, in my glasses, my hair, my rings, my nails when I'm doing my hair. I love them a lot because they look really great, and when my hair's up, like once again, normally you get like a whole like really pretty like gold and silver moment, but like They get caught and they hurt. I really want to add matching ones on the doth ear, but it's just a struggle. I still can't really comfortably sleep on them. I kind of do like the pillow thing or the whole thing and lay my head like this so there's a hole so my ear doesn't get pressed on. But they definitely need to be cleaned every day. I've had them for over a year and a half and they are still kind of finicky. But I know a lot of people have problems with helixes. You would really think that it'd be like the daith or the maybe like a rook, but that's not the experience for me. The next two I have are body piercings. I did get my nipple, one of them pierced. That was the worst pain ever. I would say that was a straight 8 or 9. It was very sharp and the pinch was gone pretty much right away, but the upkeep, well, it hurt. It was sore for like 2 or 3 weeks. The upkeep was really, really hard. That is a piercing I had to retire. It almost got ripped out like once or twice. It was my favorite piercing ever. It was my favorite. It was the best piercing. Now I won't say that like it wasn't problematic, like it never had like hypertrophic scars or it wasn't like super even crusty or anything. And after like the first week of it being sore or second week of it being sore, it kind of was hanging out. But I will say that it really easily did get caught on things and it was like fine for like a year and a half. Right around like a year and a half, I started noticing it was kind of like very, very slightly shifting, like the smallest bit. And I was just kind of like, I thought it'd be healed by then. I was still like soaking it. I soaked it twice a day for like 6 months and then like basically every day in the shower I would clean it. And so it was like, well, it's migrating, like I've had some issues with it being pulled like during intimate times and I was just like, let me retire this. I might like go and do the other one. I will say there's no scarring. I had it for like a year and a half. Almost as soon as I pulled it out, it started closing. It was a great piercing, but just one I had to let go. The last piercing that I do have is my belly button. I got that when I was like 15. I think the pain on that, I thought it hurt a lot then because I was younger. I hadn't had a tattoo or anything, or really anything to compare it with, because I got my firsts and then I got my belly button, waited a while, and then did the rest of my ears. So I really hadn't had anything to compare it with. So I would say that it was like maybe like a 4, but if I probably redid it now, it would probably be like a 2 or a 3. It was the soaking for me. I never really had problems with like hypertrophic scarring or any of that, but it was just like always crusty and it took forever. And now I don't know if it's because I'm like losing weight, but like I'm losing the skin where my bar is, so I feel like I might have to retire that. But I've had it for almost 10 years. I'm gonna be 25 soon, so it's like, okay, I'm not too sad about it. But that's a compilation of all of my piercings put in one video. If you guys want a breakdown of maybe my Lulu's body piercing experience, or more specifically how I took care of any of my piercings, how I cleaned them, or anything like a specific story about them, let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching my video. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.